Hi, my name is Anthony Martin. I'm the founder and CEO of Choice Mutual. And in this video, I'm going to talk about our recommendation process. In other words, I'm going to explain to you exactly how we determine which final expense insurance company is best for you. So because I don't know how much of our website you've been on, it's important that I lay out a couple pieces of context. Otherwise, what I'm going to explain in a moment won't make a whole lot of sense to you. So the first thing I need you to understand about our company, Choice Mutual, is that we are not an insurance company, okay? We're not an insurance carrier. We are actually an agency that represents over 15 different insurance companies on your behalf. A lot of the companies we work with, you've heard of, companies like Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, AIG, Gerber Life, Nationwide, and there's many more. But our entire objective is simply to match each customer with whichever company is going to give them the best policy possible. With insurance, it is impossible for one company to be best for everybody out there. Everybody has unique circumstances, and every insurance company is different. That's why you can't have just one for everybody. So we're just going to match each person with the best product available. We don't care what company it happens to be with. There's two important things I want you to understand about this. First of all, our services are free. It won't cost you anything to work with us. The other thing is the insurance itself isn't more expensive because you opted to buy through an agency versus dealing direct with the insurance company. And I'll also point out something you probably are going to be surprised about. Roughly 95% of all final expense insurance products available in the US, you cannot buy them directly from the insurance company. They exclusively sell them through agencies like Choice Mutual licensed to offer their products. For example, you can call them and say, hey, I want to buy, and they'll say, that's fantastic. You're going to need to find an agent licensed to sell our products, okay? And the other thing is the few products available direct to consumer, they're generally plans that have a 2-year waiting period, and you're going to find they're going to be much more expensive compared to the products available through agencies. Okay, so now that we have that first piece of context about our company out of the way, let me go over the next important thing I need you to understand, and that is about the products themselves. So there's really two ways to go about this. There are policies that have health questions, and there's policies that have no questions. Okay? There's a big difference between these two, and it's important you understand the difference as you navigate your options. So let me touch on the no health question ones first. These are going to be commonly referred to as guaranteed issue, guaranteed acceptance. You're going to see ads on TV and through the mail. That's pretty much what you're looking at right here. So the main thing to understand about these policies, if there are no health questions, there will always be a 2 to 3 year waiting period. Okay? There's no exceptions to that. If you don't answer questions about your health, there's always a waiting period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can go online and look for things like guaranteed acceptance, no waiting period, no health questions, no waiting period. You will find some websites that will actually make it seem as though that's possible. Let me just tell you, they're lying to you. Those websites are only doing that because they make money by getting people to click. When you click on an ad or something on their website, they get paid a fee, and so they don't really care what they print. So if they're lying to you, it doesn't make a difference. So again, no questions always means a waiting period, okay? Now up here, policies that do have health questions, they can have immediate coverage. There's two types of immediate coverage. There's complete coverage where you're covered 100% on the very first day that you make your payment. It could be for natural or accidental cause. You're covered immediately. And then there's what's called partial coverage. This would be a plan where you're covered for a percentage of the death benefit in the first 2 years. So usually it'll be something like 30% year 1 and like 70% year 2. A lot of insurance companies will use the name graded plan to describe these partial coverage plans. But at the end of the day, these policies that do have health questions, only through those can you get a plan that once approved, it does have immediate coverage. So you're not gonna have to take an exam by any means, but you will have to answer some health questions and subsequently be approved. Now here's the good news I want to share with you. Most people can get one of these, okay? It's not common for people to have to deal with a plan that subjects them to a waiting period. There's a lot of different insurance companies out there. They all accept and reject different health issues. You'd be surprised how lenient the underwriting is on these products. Most people can get into one of these plans here. Please don't make the mistake of thinking that a guaranteed acceptance policy is your only path to getting coverage, because it simply isn't true. Okay, so now that we have that important context out of the way, let's get into the details about precisely how we recommend which plan is best for each person. So basically, your agent is going to begin by asking you a couple questions about your health. It takes about 30 to 60 seconds. This is going to give them a pretty clear understanding of what's going on with you health wise. That in turn allows them to determine what every insurance company will offer you. And basically, the first question that we are going to ask ourselves is, do you qualify for immediate coverage? Yes or no? Okay, that's the first question that we're going to ask. I'm going to start with no because that's a little bit easier. If the answer to that is no, and will have a waiting period no matter what you do, then we're simply going to recommend which insurance company has the lowest price available. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. If no matter what you do, a waiting period is inevitable, we're just going to recommend the lowest price. Now, if you qualify for immediate coverage, be it full or partial, because remember there's both, generally, we're also going to recommend the lowest price, okay? Generally. Now, where some other variables come into play will be when the prices themselves are very, very close. And I'll give you an example here in a moment, and you can run quotes on our website to see this, but truthfully, a lot of these insurance companies, the price for the coverage is very similar. Like it's within, 2 to 5% of one another. So there's not a huge gap between the two, or between the different companies. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're a 60-year-old female, you're looking for $10,000 of coverage, and you want to look at Mutual of Omaha and Transamerica, okay? These are gonna be pretty much the two cheapest ones that you'll find. Mutual of Omaha is gonna charge this woman $32.87. Transamerica will charge them $32.71. That's obviously less. If you were asking us which would we recommend, the answer all day is Mutual of Omaha. And that's simply because their application is substantially easier to complete, and on the post-issue side, they are substantially easier to work with. For example, if you wanted to call a Transamerica after your policy has been issued, you're going to be on the phone for no less than 45 minutes. Every single day, doesn't matter what time you call, they are very, very, very hard to get a hold of. So for your own mental sanity, it is worth the extra 16 cents to work with Mutual of Omaha. Now, we'll tell you both, and truthfully, if you do want to go to Transamerica still, we'll do it. But you have to understand what you're getting yourself into, and we'll explain this to you. Okay, so as a general rule, this is kind of what we look at when we make decisions. Price is obviously a huge impact that guides our decisions, but again, there are some other variables that do sway our decision when price is really similar. Now, if there was like an $8 to $10 gap here, then it'd be no question. We would say, okay, even though Mutual of Omaha is a lot easier to deal with, Transamerica is offering such a lower price, we got to recommend them. But we'll still tell you both and let you decide. But from a recommendation perspective, if it was that big of a gap, we would let you know. There's another scenario that would sway our decision where we wouldn't simply just say, okay, here's the lowest price. Because sometimes there are health issues where you don't get the lowest price per se for an immediate plan. And that would be something like you've got COPD and you smoke. In a circumstance like that, the choice that you would make is, do you want to pay more for a policy that has immediate coverage, or do you want to pay less and have a policy that has a 2-year waiting period? And then we will let you choose. So let me give you an example. Let's just say you're a 60-year-old female, you have COPD, and you still smoke. Aetna will give you a policy with no waiting period, and they will charge you $69.65 per month. That will cover you 100% on day one. Mutual of Omaha has a plan that has a 2-year waiting period for the same woman, and it would cost you $42.70. Okay, that's with Mutual of Omaha. Okay, that's a almost $30 gap. That's a substantial difference. So we're going to communicate this to you and say, do you want to pay more for the immediate coverage, or do you want to pay less for the 2-year waiting period? But if you have COPD and you smoke, then that is a choice that you have to make. You don't have the luxury of saying, I just want the lowest price out there. There's other variables to consider as well. So at a high level, this is kind of how we make recommendations. Again, it's largely price driven, but there are definitely some other considerations as well. But this is kind of how we do it. The main thing I want you to understand about all of this is that as a consumer, there's a lot of research that you can do. Our website, we give you the applications, we tell you what health issues, insurance companies are fond of and where they excel. We show you the prices. So there's a lot of research that you can do. But if you have any health issues at all, there's almost no way that you can determine which insurance company is going to be best for you, because you don't know the underwriting, and there's no way for you to determine what they're going to offer you. Fortunately, we can do that for you in 60 seconds. And it's not like, talking with us means you have to buy. But again, you're going to need to speak with an agent who can figure this stuff out for you. But for the sake of transparency, this is kind of how we go about this. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to comment. If you do, I promise you I'll personally respond in a timely manner. And if you are looking for final expense insurance, I encourage you, give us the opportunity to earn your business. As I alluded to earlier, we're an independent agency. We have a lot of companies to work with. We'll objectively compare each one to find which one's going to be the best deal for you, and then help you along the way and be for any service issues should you need it. But my name is Anthony Martin. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do me a big favor, hit the like and subscribe button below. And if you have any questions about final expense insurance, leave it in the comments below. I promise you I will personally respond to each one. And hey, can I let you in on a secret? Just below the description of this video, I've included some links to some of the most popular articles on our website. If you click on one, you will find information that literally cannot be found anywhere else on the internet. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this information doesn't exist elsewhere. Check it out now.